Peace, peace. Salih. Coming back at you with the number 5 life path video. If you haven't seen a video, what is a life path number? Make sure to go check that video out prior to watching this one, because there's information in that video that I'm not going to repeat in this one. So from this point on, I'm assuming that you know that you are a life path number 5, and this video is all about you or your loved one or whoever you're checking for. So the number 5. The first thing I need to establish in this video is the number 5 sits right in the middle of the numerical sequence. When you look at 5, there's 4 numbers before, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 4 numbers after it, 6, 7, 8, 9. And also the design of the 5 is open on both ends. When you draw the 5, it's open on both ends because it's looking forward and it's looking back. So the 5 person or person that has a life path 5, until you really get comfortable and settle in what you want to do, usually when you're younger, probably about before you're 25 or so, 30, you feel very confused in life because you have all these gifts and talents where you feel like, I can do this. And then the next minute you be like, man, I can do that. It's because you're open on both ends because you can see opportunities either way. And 5 is also a very lucky number. When you look at the 5th house in astrology, that's the house of speculation. So it may not be uncommon that you sort of win bets or do well at the casino or something like that. But when it deals with your life path, and that's what we're dealing with, it's important that you have some sort of challenge and something that doesn't keep you stationary. Going back to the fact that you sit right in the middle of the numbers, you can go left or right and you kind of get bored sitting in place. So when you're younger especially, you probably found it you probably were fidgety all the time, where people was like, man, he's always bored or he just got to keep it moving. Because 5 is all about adventure. Like, don't get it twisted. 5 likes to be adventurous, like to take chances, like challenges. Because 5 is associated with Mercury. And Mercury deals with the intellect. So a 5 life path will give you enough intellectual smarts. And even if you don't feel like you have to keep it moving as far as through the body, your mind is very active. Once again, it can go left or right, and it accumulates information from the black, from the white, from the whatever, woman, the man. It's just all about feeding that mind. But if you don't feel satisfied, if your hunger is not thirst, it can transfer over to the body where you feel restless. So it's very important that you kind of get some kind of gig or take some kind of career path where you're able to travel, where you're able to move, where you're able to do things. And also 5 is naturally good with children. So you may want to put in, get some kind of daycare where it's like a travel daycare or something, or you have a daycare but y'all taking mini field trips. You know what I mean? So it's many things that you can do with all these life paths. There's many directions you can go. But what I wanted to make this series just to give you something else so you can be like, kind of accept who you are. It's very important that you accept who you are so you can move on. Because if you get stuck in a place where you're always complaining, and that can happen with any number, but especially 5, if you're not being challenged, you feel like you're just not moving. Either mentally or physically, the 5 energy likes to move. So that's very important. So you have to get to a place where you accept that so you can move on, that you have that kind of disposition about you. Now, if you're a 5 and you're kind of older and you kind of settle into your career, then this isn't going to apply to you. What would apply to you is if you have a feeling that you're more of a leader, because the 5th sign is Leo, so the 5 number is also very much a leader, a diplomat, kind of royal about it. It expects to be in the limelight. There's nothing wrong with that, So that's something that you want to embrace. And also with the 4 being before the 5, 4 deals with structure, foundation. And when you get to 5, 5 gets out of breaking the box. So you don't like to be pinned down. You don't like to be labeled. It's sort of like that 4 energy, because 4 people really don't like to be boxed in. 5 definitely don't like to be boxed in. So it's important that you kind of take more of a leadership role with what you're doing so you have more direction. Because your mind is active and you also like to travel physically, it's important for you to be in a position where you can kind of dictate your next move and not have people dictate it to you. So this has been Ali. This is our video on life path number 5. If you want to find out more information about numerology or set up a consultation with myself, be sure to go to our website, thirdeyeactivation.com, and all the links can be found in the show description. Until next time, peace.